Hey folks, how's it going? Get ready to play this game, Doki Doki Literature Club, that nobody will shut up about. I'm painfully curious. I know we were playing To the Moon, and I will continue to play that one, but my curiosity is killing me. I gotta know. I have not played this game. I've seen like the first 2 minutes of it. I don't know anything else. Apparently it's not what it looks like. I know from previous experience with anime games that can definitely be the case. So, that's what we're going to do today. I transition y'all so it's full screen. There you go. So yeah, today we are playing Doki Doki Literature Club, and let's find out what the hell is going on. Because I gotta know. I gotta know. It's driving me nuts. Okay, so let me get things set up here. And we start off here with a warning. This game is not suitable for children or those who are easily disturbed. Individuals suffering from anxiety or depression may not have a safe experience playing this game. For content warnings, please visit http:// etc. DDLC moe /warning.html. By playing Doki Doki Literature Club, you agree that you are at least 13 years of age and you can consent to your exposure of highly disturbing content. Well, sorry guys, but I'm 12. But I'm gonna agree anyway. No, I'm not 12. I'm a grown-up, I promise. Okay. What is this nonsense? It's so cute! How can this game be bad? It's adorable. It's probably hentai. Apologies in advance if this is hentai. Anyway, moving on. And we'll hope it's not hentai. Enter your name. Please don't be hentai. Oh, I don't have room. Okay, totally not a perv. No, don't have room. Okay. High school boy. No. I'm a boy, guys. No. We'll call ourselves Link. Because I played Legend of Zelda as a child and may or may not have had a crush on Link, so we'll be Link. Hey! I see an annoying girl running towards me from the distance, waving her arms in the air like she's totally oblivious to any attention she might draw to herself. That girl is Sayuri, my neighbor, and good friends since we were children. You know, the kind of friend you'd never see yourself making today, but it just kind of works out because you've known each other for so long. We used to walk to school together on days like this, but starting around high school, she would oversleep more and more frequently, and I would get tired of waiting up. But if she's going to chase after me like this, I almost feel better off running away. However, I just sigh and idle in front of the crosswalk and let Sayuri catch up to me. I overslept again! But I caught up this time! Maybe, but only because I decided to stop and wait for you. Oh wait, that was me. You say that like you were thinking about ignoring me. That's mean. Well, if people stare at you for acting weird, then I don't want them to think we're a couple or something. Fine, fine. But you did wait for me after all. I guess you don't have it in you to be mean even if you want to. Whatever you say, Sayuri. Hehehe. We cross the street together and make our way to school. As we draw near, the streets become increasingly speckled with other students making their daily commute. By the way, have you decided a club to join yet? A club? I told you already, I'm not interested in joining any clubs. I haven't been looking either. That's not true. You told me you would join a club this year. Did I? I'm sure it's possible that I did in one of our many conversations where I dismissively go along with whatever she's going on about. Sayuri likes to worry a little too much about me when I'm perfectly content just getting by on the average while spending my free time on games and anime. Uh-huh. I was talking about how I'm worried that you won't learn how to socialize or have any skills before college. Your happiness is really important to me, you know. And I know you're happy now, but I die at the thought of you becoming a NEET in a few years because you're not used to the real world. You trust me, right? Don't make me keep worrying about you. Alright. I'll look at a few clubs if it makes you happy. No promises, though. Will you at least promise me you'll try a little? Yeah, I guess I'll promise you that. Dragged us into going to the literature club. And that's where we're at. Okay. I dejectedly follow Sayuri across the hall, or across the school and upstairs, a section of the school I rarely visit, being generally used for the third-year classes and activities. Okay. Sayuri, full of energy, swings open the classroom door. Everyone, the new member is here! I told you, don't call me a new member! Eh? I glance around the room. Welcome to the Literature Club. It's a pleasure meeting you. Girl 1. Sayuri always says nice things about you. Seriously? You brought a boy? Way to kill the atmosphere. Ah, Link! What a nice surprise. Welcome to the club. All words escape me in this situation. This club is full of incredibly cute girls. What are you looking at? If you want to say something, say it. Sorry. Natsuki? The girl with a sour attitude, whose name is apparently Natsuki, is one I don't recognize. Her small figure makes me think she's probably a first year. She's also the one who made cupcakes, according to Sayuri. You can just ignore her when she gets moody. Sayuri says that quietly into my ear, and then turns back towards the other girls. Anyway, this is Natsuki, always full of energy. And this is Yuri, the smartest in the club. Don't say things like that. Yuri, who appears comparably more mature and timid, seems to have a hard time keeping up with people like Sayuri and Natsuki. Ah, well, it's nice to meet both of you. And it sounds like you already know Monika, is that right? Monika? Monika? That's right! It's great to see you again, Link. Monika smiles sweetly. We know each other well. Well, we rarely talked, but we were in the same class last year. Monika was probably the most popular girl in class. Smart, beautiful, athletic. Basically, completely out of my league. So having her smile at me genuinely feels a little... You too, Monika. Come sit down, Link. We made room for you at the table, so you could sit next to me or Monika. I'll get the cupcakes. Hey, I made them. I'll get them. Sorry, I got a little too excited. Then how about we make some tea as well? The girls have a few desks arranged to form a table. As Sayuri mentioned, it's been widened so that there is space next to Monika and one space next to Sayuri. Natsuki and Yuri walk over to the corner of the room where Natsuki grabs a wrapped tray and Yuri opens the closet. Still feeling awkward, I take a seat next to Sayuri. Natsuki proudly marches back to the table, tray in hand. Okay, are you ready? Ta-da! Whoa! Natsuki lifts the foil off the tray to reveal a dozen white, fluffy cupcakes decorated to look like little cats. The whiskers are drawn on with icing, and little pieces of chocolate were used to make ears. So cute! I had no idea you were so good at baking, Natsuki. Well, you know. Just hurry and take one. Sayuri grabs the first, then Monika. I follow. It's delicious! Sayuri talks with her mouth full and has already managed to get icing on her face. I turn the cupcake around in my fingers, looking for the best angle to take a bite. Natsuki is quiet. I can't help but notice her sneaking glances in my direction. Is she waiting for me to take a bite? I finally bite down. The icing is sweet and full of flavor. I wonder if she made it herself. This is really good! Thank you, Natsuki. Why are you thanking me? It's not like haven't I heard this somewhere before? Made them for you or anything. Eh? I thought you technically did. Sayori said, well, maybe. But not for, you know, you, dummy. Alright, alright. I give up on Natsuki's weird logic and dismiss the conversation. Yuri returns to the table carrying a tea set. She carefully places a cup in front of each of us before setting the teacup next to the cupcake tray. You keep a whole tea set in this classroom? Don't worry, the teachers gave us permission. After all, doesn't a hot cup of tea help you enjoy a good book? I guess. Don't let yourself get intimidated. Yuri's just trying to impress you. Huh? That's not... Insulted, Yuri looks away. I meant that, you know, I believe you. Well, tea and reading might not be a pastime for me, but at least I enjoy tea. I'm glad. Yuri faintly smiles to herself in relief. Monica raises an eyebrow and then smiles at me. So, what made you consider the literature club? I was afraid of this question. Something tells me I shouldn't tell Monica that I was practically dragged here by Sayori. Well, I haven't joined any clubs yet, and Sayori seemed really happy here, so that's okay, don't be embarrassed. We'll make sure you feel right at home here, okay? As president of the literature club, it's my duty to make the club fun and exciting for everyone. Monica, I'm surprised. Start recording. Okay, are we back? I think we're back. This is annoying. Okay, let's go to history. So he asks her why. He says, how come you decided to start your own club? You could probably be a board member for any of the major clubs. Weren't you a leader of the debate club last year? Well, you know, to be honest, I can't stand all the politics around the major clubs. It feels like nothing but arguing about the budget and publicity and how to prepare for events. I'd much rather take something I personally enjoy and make something special out of it. And if it encourages others to get into literature, then I'm fulfilling that dream. Monica really is a great leader. Yuri also nods in agreement. Then I'm surprised there aren't more people in the club yet. It must be hard to start a new club. You could put it that way. Not many people are very interested in putting out all effort to start something brand new, especially when it's something that doesn't grab your attention, like literature. You have to work hard to convince people that you're both fun and worthwhile. But it makes school events like the festival that much more important. I'm confident that we can all really grow this club before we graduate. Right, everyone? Yeah! We'll do our best. You know it! Everyone enthusiastically agrees. Such different girls, all interested in the same goal. Monica must have worked really hard just to find these three. Maybe that's why they were all so delighted at the idea of a new member joining. Though I still don't really know if I can keep up with their level of enthusiasm about literature. So, Link, what kinds of things do you like to read? Well, considering how little I've read these past few years, I don't really have a good way of answering that. Manga? I mutter quietly to myself, half joking. Natsuki's head suddenly perks up. It looks like she wants to say something, but she keeps quiet. Not much of a reader, I guess. Well, that can change. What am I saying? I spoke without thinking after seeing Yuri's sad smile. Anyway, what about you, Yuri? Well, let's see. Yuri traces the rim of her teacup with her finger. My favorites are usually novels that build up deep and complex fantasy worlds. The level of creativity and craftsmanship behind them is amazing to me. And telling a good story in such a foreign world is equally impressive. Yuri goes on, clearly passionate about her reading. She seems so reserved and timid since the moment I walked in, but it's obvious by the way her eyes light up that she finds comfort in the world of books, not people. But, you know, I like a lot of things. Stories with deep psychological elements usually immerse me as well. Isn't that amazing? A writer can so deliberately take advantage of your own lack of imagination to completely throw you for a loop? Anyway, I've been reading a lot of horror lately. I read a horror book once. I desperately grasped something that I can relate to at the minimal level. At this rate, Yuri might as well be having a conversation with a rock. Really? I wouldn't have expected that, Yuri. For someone as gentle as you. I guess you could say that. But if a story makes me think, or takes me to another world, then I really can't put it down. So real horror is often very successful at changing the way you look at the world, if only for a brief moment. hate horror. Oh, why is that? Well, Natsuki's eyes dart over to me for a split second. Never mind. That's right, you usually like to write about cute things, don't you, Natsuki? What? What gives you that idea? You left a piece of scrap paper behind the last club meeting. It looked like you were writing a poem called Don't Say It Out Loud! And give that back! Fine. Your cupcakes, your poems, everything you do is just as cute as you are. Sayuri sidles up behind Natsuki and puts her hands on her shoulders. I'm not cute! Natsuki, you write your own poems? Well, I guess, sometimes. Why do you care? I think that's impressive. Why don't you share them sometime? No. Natsuki averts her eyes. You wouldn't like them. Ah, not a very confident writer yet? I understand how Natsuki feels. Sharing that level of writing takes more than just confidence. The truest form of writing is writing to oneself. You must be willing to open up to your readers, exposing your vulnerabilities and sharing even the deepest reaches of your heart. Do you have writing experience too, Yuri? Maybe if you share some of your work, you can set an example and help Natsuki feel more comfortable so she can share hers. I guess it's the same for Yuri. Aw, I wanted to read everyone's poems. We all sit in silence for a moment. Okay, I have an idea, everyone. Natsuki and Yuri look quizzically at Monika. Let's all go home and write a poem of our own. Then, next time you meet, we'll all share them with each other. That way, everyone is even. Yeah, let's do it! Plus, now that we have a new member, I think it will help us all get a little more comfortable with each other and strengthen that bond of the club. Isn't that right, Link? Monika smiles warmly at me once again. Hold on. There's still one problem. What's that? Now that we're back to the original topic of me joining the club, I bluntly come forth with what's been on my mind the entire time. I never said I would join this club. Sayuri may have convinced me to stop by, but I never made any decision. I still have other clubs to look at, and, I lose my train of thought. All four girls stare back at me with dejected eyes. But, I'm sorry, I thought. Link, you all. I'm defenseless against these girls. How am I supposed to make a clear-headed decision when it's like this? That is, if writing poems is the price I need to pay in order to spend every day with these beautiful girls. Right. Okay, I've decided then. I'll join the literature club. One by one, the girls' eyes light up. Yes, I'm so happy! Sari wraps her arms around me, jumping up and down. Hey! You really did scare me for a moment. If you really just came for the cupcakes, I would be super pissed. Then that makes it official. Welcome to the literature club. Thanks, I guess. Okay, everyone. I think with that, we can officially end today's meeting on a good note. We'll save there. Everyone, remember tonight's assignment. Write a poem to bring the next meeting so we can all share. Monika looks over at me once more. Link, I look forward to seeing how you express yourself. Yeah. Those ehehes are really gonna grate on me. Can I really impress the class star Monika with my mediocre writing skills? I already feel anxiety welling up inside me. Meanwhile, the girls continue to chit-chat as Yuri and Natsuki clean up the food. Hey Link, since we're already here, do you want to walk home together? That's right, Sayuri and I never walk home together anymore because she's always stayed after school for clubs. Sure, might as well. Yay! Sorry, I need a drink of water. Pardon me, folks. All that reading. With that, the two of us depart to the club room and make our way home. The whole way, my mind wanders back and forth between the four girls. Sayuri, Natsuki, Yuri, and of course Monika. Will I really be happy spending every day after school in a literature club? Perhaps I'll have the chance to grow closer to one of these girls. Okay, it's time to write a poem. Pick words you think your favorite club member will like. Something good might happen with whoever likes your poem most. Oh god. Is this really going? This might be going where I think it's going. I really hope not. Please don't be a weird hentai game, please. This is not the kind of channel I want to run here, man. Hold on. Hold on. We've got craziness going on. Okay. I'm fixing the game capture for y'all. Okay. There. Sorry about those technical difficulties. Okay, let's see. Who's your favorite club member? We'll do Existence, Graveyard, Imagination, Uncanny, Essence, Secretive, Flower, Ambient, Fireflies, Depression. Okay, she doesn't like that. Extraordinary, Tragedy, Daydream, Eternity, Embrace, Incongruent, Density, Unending, Intellectual, Determination. I don't know what I wrote. Hi again, Link! Glad to see you didn't run away on us. Nah, don't worry. This might be a little strange for me, but at least I keep my word. Well, I'm back in the literature club. I was the last to come in, so everyone else is already hanging out. Thanks for keeping your promise, Link. I hope this isn't too overwhelming of a commitment for you. Making you dive headfirst into literature when you're not accustomed to it. By the way, I'm just going to come out and say, this is probably a long game. Making voices this entire time is going to kill my throat. I'll try to do it most of the time, but right now, I'm just going to read it out loud. I apologize for that. It's just, I'm not really a voice maker. I'm trying to get better at it. But, you know, working with what I have, guys. I'm sorry. I'll get better at this, really. But no voices for now, because it's killing my throat because of my allergies. Next time. Making a dive headfirst into literature when you're not accustomed to it. Oh, come on, like he deserves any slack. Sayuri told me you didn't even want to join any clubs this year. And last year. I don't know if you plan to come here and hang out or what. But if you don't take us seriously, then you won't see the end of it. Natsuki, you certainly have a big mouth for someone who keeps her manga collection in the club room. Natsuki finds herself stuck between saying Monika and manga. Manga is literature! Swiftly defeated, Natsuki plops back into her seat. Don't worry, guys. Link always gives his best as long as he's having fun. He helps me with busy work without me even asking. Like cooking, cleaning my room. How dependable. Sayuri, that's because your room is messy and distracting. And you almost set your house on fire once. Is that so? You two really are good friends, aren't you? I might be a little jealous. How come? You and Link can become good friends too. Sayuri? As usual, Sayuri seems oblivious to the weird situation she just put me into. Oh, Yuri even brought you something today, you know. What? Wait, Sayuri? Huh? Me? Not really. Don't be shy. It's really nothing. What is it? Never mind. Sayuri made it sound like a big deal when it's really not. What do I do? I'm sorry, Yuri. I wasn't thinking. I guess that means it's up to me to rescue this situation. Hey, don't worry about it. First of all, I wasn't expecting anything in the first place, so any nice gesture from you is a pleasant surprise. It'll make me happy no matter what. Is that so? Yeah, I won't make a big deal if you don't want it to be. Alright. Well, here. Yuri reaches into her bag and pulls out a book. I didn't want you to feel left out, so I picked out a book that I thought you might enjoy. It's a short read, so it should keep your attention, even if you don't usually read. And we could, you know, discuss it, if you wanted. How is this girl accidentally being so cute? She even picked out a book she thinks I'll like, despite me not reading much. Yuri, thank you. I'll definitely read this. I enthusiastically take the book. Phew! Well, you can read it at your own pace. I look forward to hearing what you think. Now that everyone's settled in, I expected Monica to kick off some scheduled activities for the club, but that doesn't seem to be the case. Sayuri and Monica are having a cheery conversation in the corner. Yuri's face is already buried in a book. I can't help but notice her intense expression like she was waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki is rummaging around in the closet. I'm really curious to talk to Yuri a little bit more, but at the same time I would feel bad for distracting her from reading. I catch a glimpse of the cover of her book. It looks like the same book that she lent me. More than that, she seems to be on the first few pages. Ah! Crap. I think she noticed me looking at her. She sneaks another glance at me. Our eyes meet for a split second. But that only makes her hide her face deeper in her book. Sorry! I was just spacing out. I mutter this, sensing I made her uncomfortable. Oh, it's fine. If I was focused, then I probably wouldn't have noticed in the first place. But I'm just rereading a bit of this, so... That's the book that you gave me, right? Mm-hmm. I wanted to reread some of it. Not for any particular reason, just curious. Have you come up with 2 copies of the same book? Ah, well... Alright. Okay. Looks like we're back online. Sorry about that. It's a very engaging and relatable story. Is that so? What's it about, anyway? Well, Yuri closes the book and scans her eyes over the back. The book is titled Portrait of a Markov. There's an ominous-looking eye symbol on the front cover. Alright. I just want to make sure I don't accidentally give anything away. Basically, it's about this girl in high school who moves in with her long-lost younger sister. But as soon as she does so, her life gets really strange. She gets targeted by these people who escape from a human experiment prison. And while her life is in danger, she needs to desperately choose who to trust. No matter what she does, she ends up destroying most of her relationships, and her life starts to fall apart. That's kind of dark, isn't it? Yuri made it sound like it was going to be a nice story, so that dark turn came from nowhere. Yuri gently giggles all of a sudden. Are you not a fan of this sort of thing, Link? No, it's not that. I mean, I can definitely enjoy those kinds of stories, so don't worry. I hope so. Yeah, I totally forgot that Yuri is into these things. She's so shy and reclusive on the outside, but her mind seems to be completely different. It's just that those kinds of stories, they challenge you to look at life from a strange new perspective. When horrible things happen, not just because someone wants to be evil, but because they have their own goals or their own philosophy that they believe in, then suddenly, when you thought you related to the protagonist, they're made out to be the naive one for letting their one-sided morals interfere with the villain's plans. I'm rambling, aren't I? Not again. I'm sorry. Hey, don't apologize. I haven't lost interest or anything. Well, I guess it's alright then. But I feel I should let you know I have this problem. When I let things like books and writing fill my thoughts, I kind of forget to pay attention to other people. So I'm sorry if I end up saying something strange. And please stop me if I start talking too much. I really don't think you need to worry. That just means you're passionate about reading. The least I can do is listen. Sorry, my mother-in-law is texting me. It's a literature club after all. Ah, well, that's true. In fact, I might as well get started reading it, right? You don't have to? Well, what are you saying? Just a moment ago, you said you were looking forward to it. Let me just get to the book. I quickly retrieve the book that I put into my bag. Alright, it's fine if I sit here, right? I slip into a seat next to Yuri's. Yeah! Are you sure? You seem a little apprehensive. I'm sorry. It's not I don't want you to, it's just something I'm not very used to. That is, reading in company with someone. I see. Well, just tell me if I end up distracting you or anything. Alright. I open the book and start the prologue. I seem to understand what Yuri means about reading in company. It's as if I can feel her presence over my shoulder as I read. It's not a particularly bad thing. Maybe a little distracting, but the feeling is somewhat comforting. Yuri is in the corner of my eye. I realize that she's not actually looking at her own book. I glance over. It looks like she's reading from my book instead. Sorry! Yuri, you really apologize a lot, don't you? I do? I don't really mean to. Sorry. Here, this should work, right? I slide my desk until it's up against Yuri's and then hold my book more between the two of them. I suppose so. Yuri timidly closes her own copy. Once we each lean in a little bit, our shoulders are almost touching. It feels like my left arm is in the way, so instead I use my right hand to hold the book open. I guess that makes it kind of difficult to turn the page. Here. He takes her left arm and holds the left side of the book between her thumb and forefinger. I do the same with my right arm on the right side of the book. That way, I turn a page and Yuri slides it under her thumb after it flips to her side. But in holding it like this, we're huddled even closer together than before. It's actually kind of distracting me. It's as if I can feel the warmth of Yuri's face and she's in the corner of my vision. Are you ready? To turn the page. Sorry. I think I got a bit distracted for a second. I glance over at Yuri's face again and our eyes meet. I don't know how I will be able to keep up with her. That's okay. You're not used to reading, right? Don't mind being patient if it takes a bit longer. It's probably the least I can do, since you've been so patient with me. Yeah. Thanks. We continue reading. Yuri no longer asks me if I'm ready to turn the page. Instead, I just assume that she finishes the page before me, so I turn it on my own volition. We continue the first chapter in silence. Even so, turning each page almost feels like an intimate exchange. My thumb gently letting go of her page, letting it flutter over to her side, and she catches it under her own thumb. Hey, Yuri? Okay, guys, I gotta look something up. I've gotta make sure of something. Hold on a minute. Is my internet acting up again? Don't tell me. Oh my gosh. Okay, let me close some things. Google doesn't want to work. Okay. I just want to make sure this game is not something. Okay, cool. I just had to make sure of something. Wanted to make sure that this game is not hentai or something. So, we're good. Alright. Hey, Yuri? This might be a silly thought, but the main character kind of reminds me of you a little bit. You think so? How does she? Well, I guess she's a bit more blunt in a lot of ways, but she also second guesses all the things that she says and does. Like, she's afraid she'll do something wrong. It's not like I can see into your head or anything, but they're kind of reminiscent of some of your mannerisms. I see. Yuri remains silent for a moment. But Link, that's probably a terrible thing to have in common with her. Oh, that's so embarrassing that you think that. Wait. I didn't mean it in a bad way or anything. Sorry, I really didn't know you were self-conscious about that sort of thing. I guess I more meant it that it's kind of cute. Ah! What are you saying all of a sudden? Okay, everyone. I think it's about time we share today's poems with each other. We might not have enough time if we wait too long. Ah. Yuri exhales, spared from finishing her thought. Is that alright, Yuri? You look kind of down. I'm sorry if you haven't been looking forward to this. It's not. It's fine. Yuri releases her hand from the book, causing it to close on top of my thumb. Alright. I guess I'll do some more reading tonight. Or would you prefer I only read it with you? I guess I don't have too much of a preference either way. In that case, I'll read a little more tonight. It'll be more fun to read with you after it picks up a bit, you know? That's good reasoning. In that case, feel free to finish the first 2 chapters in your own time. Alright. I stand up. I make a mental note of where I left off in the book and then slip it back into my bag. By the way, did you remember to write a poem? Yeah! My relaxation ends. I can't believe I agreed to do something so embarrassing. I couldn't really find much inspiration since I've never really done this before. Well, now that everyone's ready, why don't you find someone to share with? I can't wait! Sayuri and Monica enthusiastically pull out their poems. Sayuri's is on a wrinkled sheet of loose leaf from a spiral notebook. On the other hand, Monica wrote hers on a composition notebook. I can already see Monica's pristine handwriting from where I sit. Natsuki and Yuri reluctantly complies while reaching into their bags. I do the same myself. Who should I show my poem to first? I don't know. Let's show it to Sayuri first. I'm definitely most comfortable sharing it with Sayuri. She's my good friend after all. This is a good poem, Link. Are you sure it's your first time? Of course. It's not that good. Am I the kind of guy who'd be writing poems in his spare time? I guess you're right. But that's why it impressed me. Well, to be honest, I was afraid that you wouldn't take it seriously, or that you wouldn't write one at all. I'm really happy just that you wrote one. It just reminds me of how you're really a part of the club now. Not to mention the fact that I'm standing in front of you in the classroom. Well, of course. I'm not really into it yet, but that doesn't mean I'll break my promise. See? It's like I said before, Link. Deep down, you're not selfish at all, you know? Trying new things like this for other people, that's something that only really good people do. Thanks, Sayuri. I'm not sure if Sayuri feels the full picture of my motive here. Then again, I can't deny that she's part of the reason I joined, knowing how much this means to her and all. Yeah. And I'm going to make sure you have lots of fun here, okay? That will be my way of thanking you. Alright, I'm going to hold you to that then. Yay! Now you'll read my poem too, right? Don't worry, I'm really bad at this. We'll see about that. Dear Sunshine. Ah! Wait! I didn't get to read it. History. Wait, how do I go back? Oh my god. It doesn't show me. No. No, I skipped it by mistake. We don't know what Dear Sunshine is about. Oh my god. This is just a guess, but did you wait until this morning to write this? No. Just a little bit. You can't answer just a little bit to a yes or no question. I forgot to do it last night. Well, at least that makes me feel a little bit better about myself. Don't be mean. I still tried my best. Yeah. I didn't mean to say that it was a bad poem. It came out nice. Or how should I put it? It sounds just like you. Really? Yeah. Especially that last line. I made eggs and toast, even though you were late to school. It's bad to skip breakfast. I get all cranky. Well, I guess there's no point in arguing. Anyway, thanks for showing me. This was so much fun. Monica's the best. Ah, yeah. But next time I won't forget. And I'm gonna write the best poem ever. Well, I guess I look forward to it. Let's go with Monica next. Hi, Link. Having a good time so far? Yeah. Good. Glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new and everything, if you ever have any suggestions for the club, like new activities or things that we can do better, I'm always listening. Don't be afraid to bring things up, okay? Alright, I'll keep that in mind. Of course, I'll be afraid to bring things up. I'm much better off just going with the flow until I'm more settled in. Anyway, want to share your poem with me? It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to. Ha 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 ha. Don't worry, Link. We're all a little embarrassed today, you know? But it's that sort of barrier that we'll all learn to get past soon. Yeah, that's true. I hand Monica my poem. Great job, Link. I was going ooh in my head while reading it. It's really metaphorical. I'm not sure why, but I didn't expect you to go for something so deep. I guess I underestimated you. It's easiest for me to keep everyone's expectations low. That way, it always counts when I put some effort. That's not very fair. Well, I guess it worked anyway. You know that Yuri likes this kind of writing, right? Writing that's full of imagery and symbolism, unlike Sayuri, who likes using simple and direct words to describe happiness and sadness. Yuri likes it when readers are left to derive their own meaning out of it. It's very challenging to write like that effectively, both allowing people to get something out of it just by feel, or letting them deeply analyze all of the nuances. It can take years of practice, which I'm assuming Yuri has at this point. I never really asked, though. I'm sure I'm nowhere near her level yet. Don't worry so much about that. You do your own thing. Just keep exploring and learn by trying new things. I'm sure I'll end up trying different things a lot. It could take a while before I feel comfortable doing this. That's okay. I love to see you try new things. That's the best way to find the kind of style that suits you. Everyone else might be a little bit biased towards their own kinds of styles, but I'll always help you find what suits you the most. So don't force yourself to write the way everyone else wants you to write. It's not like you have to worry about impressing them or anything. Anyway, do you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good. You sound pretty confident for someone who claims to not be very good. Well, that's because I have to sound confident. That doesn't mean I always feel that way, you know? I see. Well, let's read it then. Hole in wall. It couldn't have been me. See the direction the spackle protrudes? A noisy neighbor, an angry boyfriend, I'll never know I wasn't home. I peer inside for a clue. No, I can't see. I reel, blind, like a film left out in the sun. But it's too late. My retina's already scorched with a permanent copy of the meaningless image. It's just a little hole. It wasn't too bright. It was too deep, stretching forever into everything. A hole of infinite choices. I realize now that I wasn't looking in. I was looking out, and he, on the other side, was looking in. Okay. So what do you think? It's very freeform, if that's what you call it. Sorry, I'm not really the right person to ask for feedback. That's okay. Yeah, that kind of style has gotten pretty popular nowadays. That is, a lot of poems have been putting emphasis on the timing between words and lines. When performed out loud, it can be really powerful. What was the inspiration behind this one? Well, I'm not sure if I know how to put it. I guess you could say that I had some kind of epiphany recently. It's been influencing my poems a bit. An epiphany? Yeah, something like that. I'm kind of nervous to talk about deep stuff like that because it's kind of coming on strongly. Maybe after everyone is better friends with each other. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes when you're writing a poem or a story, your brain gets too fixated on a specific point. If you try too hard to make it perfect, then you'll never make any progress. Just force yourself to get something down on the paper and tidy it up later. Another way to think about it is this. If you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, you'll just get a big dark puddle of ink. So just move your hand and go with the flow. That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. Okay, we'll try Natsuki. Link, if you're not going to take this clip seriously, then go home. What? Harsh. What, you expect me to believe that you actually put effort into this? Do you think I'm stupid? I'm not a writer. Maybe it's not very good, but yeah, I did put in effort. We all start somewhere, right? If you're still proud of the first poem you ever wrote, then I'd like to read it. Painful to think about? Fine. Well, sorry. You'll get better anyway. I tell you how to improve, but you're better off just trying again. Fair enough. Well, to each their own, I guess. Anyway, I guess I gotta share mine now. Knowing you, you'll probably think it's stupid. Eagles can fly, monkeys can climb, crickets can leap, horses can race, owls can seek, cheetahs can run, eagles can fly, people can try, but that's about it. What? What? What does this mean? What does it mean? I don't know. Yeah, I told you you weren't gonna like it. I like it. What? Just be honest. I am. Why are you so convinced that I wouldn't like it? Well, because everyone in high school thinks that writing has to be all sophisticated and stuff, so people don't take my writing seriously. But isn't the point of poems for people to express themselves? Your writing style wouldn't make your message any less valid. Yes, exactly. I like when it's easy to read, but it hits you hard. Like in this poem. Seeing everyone around you do great things can be really disheartening, so I decided to write about it. Yeah, I understand. But the other nice things about simple writing is that it puts more weight on the wordplay. Like, I set up for a rhyme at the end, but then made it fall flat on purpose. It helps bring out the feeling in the last line. So you did. I guess more went into that than I realized. That's what it means to be a pro! I'm glad you learned something. Don't expect that from the youngest one here, did you? Yeah, I guess not. I decided to humor her with that last comment. I don't really care how old everyone is, but if Natsuki is feeling proud, then I won't take that away from her. And now for Yuri. As Yuri reads the poem, I notice her eyes lighten. Exceptional! Huh? What was that? Did I say it out loud? Yuri first covers her mouth, but then ends up covering her whole face. He's going to hate me. You really didn't do anything wrong, Yuri. I guess you're right. What am I getting so nervous for? Yuri takes a breath. So, what kind of writing experience do you have? Your use of imagery and metaphors indicates you've written a lot of poetry before. Really? Wow, that's a huge compliment coming from you. That's actually my first time, really. Huh? Yuri stares at me blankly, then looks at my poem again. Well, I know that. I just meant, Yuri trails off, unable to find an excuse. She traces her finger along the words in the poem, as if breaking it down more thoroughly. Yeah, okay. This is the reason I was able to tell. It's just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers. And having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. I think the most noticeable thing I recognize in new writers is that they try to make their style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick a writing style separate from the topic matter, and they form fit the two together. The end result is that both the style and the expressiveness are weakened. Once Yuri finds her train of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone and she sounds like an expert. Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There are so many different skills and techniques that go into writing even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it all comes with practice and learning by example and trying new things. I also hope that everyone else in the club gives you valuable feedback. Natsuki can be a little bit biased though. Biased? How? Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about people like that. Sorry. It's fine. I'm not sure if Yuri is apologizing to herself, to me, or to Natsuki. Do you mind if I read your poem now? Please do! I'd love to share my thought process behind it. Yuri smiles dreamily as if that's a rare opportunity for her, which itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't this supposed to be a literature club? Excuse me, sorry about that. Ghost under the light. The tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glow. Bathing. It must be this one, the last remaining streetlight to have withstood the test of time. The last, yet to be replaced by the sickening blue-green hue of the future. I bathe, calm, breathing air of the present but living in the past. The light flickers. I flicker back. I'm sorry, I have such terrible handwriting. What? I wasn't thinking that at all. But it took you a long time to read. Ah, well, I just don't read script very often. I actually think your handwriting is pretty. Eh? That's a relief. Also, I liked the poem. Even though it's short, it was really descriptive. It wasn't too short. I usually write longer poems. Not at all. I'm really glad you liked it. I'll be honest. Since it's our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose. Are you into ghosts, Yuri? Actually, the story isn't about a ghost at all, Link. Really? I must have totally missed the point. Well, I suppose you did only glance over it, after all. But remember that poets often express their own thoughts, feelings, and experiences in their work. They usually do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture. In this case, perhaps the subject of the poem is only being symbolically compared to a ghost, lingering in her last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of the past, and soon to be left with nothing. That's a lot more solemn, putting it that way. I hadn't even thought of that. That's impressive. It's nothing, really. Yours was impressive too, so nah. If anything, I could probably learn a thing or two from you. You think so? Yeah, of course. You know, I was really nervous about doing all this, but in the end, I enjoyed it. I'm going to keep doing the best for you, Link. Me too. Phew. I guess that's everyone. I glance around the room. That was a little more stressful than I anticipated, as if everyone is judging me for my mediocre writing habits. You know, they're just being nice. There's no way poems can stand up to theirs. My poems can stand up to theirs. This is a literature club, after all. I sigh. I guess that's what I ended up getting myself into. Across the room, Sayuri and Monika are happily chatting. My eyes land on Yuri and Natsuki. They gingerly exchange sheets of paper, sharing their respective poems. As they read in tandem, I watch their expressions change. Natsuki's eyebrows furrow in frustration. Meanwhile, Yuri smiles sadly. What's with this language? Did you say something? Oh, it's nothing. Natsuki dismissively returns the poem to the desk with one hand. I guess you could say it's fancy. Thanks. Yours is cute. Cute! Did you completely miss the symbolism or something? It's clearly about the feeling of giving up. How can that be cute? I know that. I just meant the language, I guess. I was trying to say something nice. You mean you have to try that hard to come up with something nice to say? Thanks, but it really didn't come out nice at all. Well, I do have a couple of suggestions. If I was looking for suggestions, I would have asked someone who actually liked it. Which people did, by the way. Sayuri liked it, and Link did too. So based on that, I'll gladly give you some suggestions of my own. First of all, excuse me, I appreciate the offer, but I've spent a long time establishing my writing style. I don't expect it to change anytime soon, unless of course I come across something particularly inspiring, which I haven't yet. And Link liked my poem too, you know. He even told me he was impressed by it. Natsuki suddenly stands up. Oh? I didn't realize you were so invested in trying to impress our new member, Yuri. Eh? That's not what I... You're just... Yuri stands up as well. Maybe you're just jealous that Link appreciates my advice more than he appreciated yours. Huh? And how do you know he didn't appreciate my advice more? Are you that full of yourself? No. If I was full of myself, I would deliberately go out of my way to make everything I do overly cutesy. Ooh. Is everyone okay? Well, you know what? I wasn't the one whose boobs magically grew a size bigger as soon as Link started showing up. Natsuki! Natsuki, that's a little... This doesn't involve you! I don't like fighting guys. Suddenly both girls turned towards me as if they've just noticed I was standing there. Link? She's just trying to make me look bad. That's not true. She started it. If she could get over herself and learn to appreciate that simple writing is more effective, then this wouldn't have happened in the first place. What's the point of making your poems all convoluted for no reason? The meaning should jump out at the reader, not force them to have to figure it out. Help me explain that to her, Link. Wait. There's a reason we have so many deep expressive and expressive words in our language. It's the only way to convey complex feelings and meaning the most effectively. Avoiding them is not only unnecessarily limiting yourself, it's also a waste. You understand that, right, Link? Well? How did I get dragged into this in the first place? It's not like I know anything about writing. But whoever I agree with, they'll probably think more highly of me. So, of course, that's going to be... Yuri. Natsuki, you're right that I liked your poem. See? Wait. That's not an excuse for you to be so mean. You shouldn't pick a fight just because someone's opinion is different. That's not what happened at all. Yuri wouldn't even take my poem seriously. I understand. Yuri? You're a seriously talented writer. It's no secret that I was impressed. Well, that's... But here's the thing. No matter how simple or refined someone's writing style is, they're still putting feelings into it, and it becomes something really personal. That's why Natsuki felt threatened when you said her poem was cute. I see. I hadn't noticed that I'm sorry. Ugh. But Natsuki, you took it way too far. Yuri means well, and if you just told her how you felt, then this wouldn't have happened. Are you kidding? That's exactly what I did. It was her that... Natsuki, I think that's enough. You both said some things that you didn't mean. Yuri apologized. Don't you think you should too? Natsuki clenches her fists. In the end, nobody has taken her side. She's trapped. At this point, being defiant only because she can't handle the pressure. I end up even feeling bad for her. Sometimes when I'm hurt, it helps to take a walk and clear my head. Sayuri, she doesn't need to... You know what? I'm going to do that. It'll spare me from having to look at your faces right now. With that warning, Natsuki snatches her own poem up from the desk and storms out. On her way out, she crumples up the poem with her hands and throws it in the trash. Natsuki. She really didn't need to do that. I look across the room. Yuri has her chin buried in her hands while she stares down at her desk. I gingerly approach her and sit in the adjacent chair. Everything alright? I'm so embarrassed. I can't believe I acted that way. You probably hate me now. No, Yuri. How could anyone not have gotten frustrated after being treated like that? You handled it as well as anyone could. I don't think any less of you. Well, alright. I believe you. Thanks, Link. You're too kind. I'm thankful to have you a part of this club now. It's nothing. One more thing. That one thing Natsuki said about, you know, I would never do anything so shameful. So, What thing did Natsuki say? Well, never mind that. I'm gonna make you some tea. Good idea. Make enough for more than one person, okay? Yeah. Okay, everyone. It's just about time for us to leave. How did y'all feel about sharing your poems? It was a lot of fun. Well, I'd say it was worth it. It was alright. Well, mostly. Link? How about you? Yeah, I'd say the same. It was a neat thing to talk about with everyone. Awesome! In that case, we'll do the same thing tomorrow. And maybe you learn something from your friends, too. So your poems will turn out even better. Hi, Delacroix. How are you doing tonight? I think to myself, I did learn a little more about the kinds of poems everyone likes. With any luck, that means I can do a better job impressing those I want to impress. I nodded to myself with newfound determination. Link? Ready to walk home? Sure, let's go. Hehehe. Sayuri beams at me. It truly has been a while since Sayuri and I have spent this much time together. I can't really say I'm not enjoying it either. Sayuri? About what happened earlier. Huh? What do you mean? You know, between Yuri and Natsuki. Does that kind of thing happen often? No. That's really the first time I've seen them fight like that. I promise, they're both wonderful people. You don't hate them, do you? No, I don't hate them. I just wanted your opinion, that's all. I can see why they make good friends with you. Phew! You know, Link, it's nice that I get to spend time with you in the club. But I think seeing you get along with everyone is what makes me the happiest. And I think everyone really likes you, too. That's... hehehe. Every day is going to be so much fun! It looks like Sayuri still hasn't caught on to the kind of situation I'm in. Sure, being friends with everyone is nice, but does it really need to stop there? We'll just have to see what the future holds, Sayuri. I pat Sayuri on the shoulder. I said that more to myself than to her, but it's easy to use Sayuri as an internal monologue sometimes. Okay, yeah, let's do this. Okay, so I have another poem to write. Let's save right here really quick. Before we get started on this poem, I actually need to grab a drink really quick. I'll be 2 shakes. I just gotta go down to the fridge because my husband's not answering his texts. So give me 2 seconds. See? Told you it'd be 2 seconds. Okay, so I am kind of liking Yuri's character the best, so we're gonna go with her. So we just pick big words. Infallible, uncontrollable, after image, disoriented, determination, unrequited? Oh, no. Incongruent. What other words might Yuri like? Existence. Melody? No. Secretive. Aw, spinning? No. Covet. Thank you. Tiny followed you in.
Good.
Alright, let's see. An ending? Infinite. Graveyard. Extraordinary. Nope. Heaven sent. Intellectual. Unrestrained. Contamination. That poem don't make no damn sense. It's complete nonsense. I don't even know what we wrote about. But apparently Yuri will like it, so that's what matters, guys, right? Priorities. Another day passes and it's time for the club meeting already. I've gotten a little more comfortable here over the past couple of days. Entering the club room, the usual scene greets me. Hi, Link. Yo, Sayuri. Looks like you're in a good mood today. Hehe. I'm just still not used to you being in the club, that's all. I see. That's a pretty simple thing to get you in a good mood. But I guess it's always the simple things with you anyway. Speaking of which, I'm kind of hungry. Will you come with me to buy a snack? No thanks. Eh? That's not like you at all. I have my reasons. Why don't we take a look at your purse, Sayuri? Eh? Why that, all of a sudden? No reason, really. I just wanted to look at it. Sayuri nervously retrieves her coin purse. She fumbles with the latch and gets it open. As she turns it upside down, lets its contents spill on the desk. Only 2 small coins fall out. I knew it! I can see right through you, Sayuri. That's not fair. How did you even know? It's simple. If you had enough money in the first place, you would have bought a snack before coming into the club room. So either you're not hungry and want an excuse to take a walk, or you plan to conveniently forget that you spent all your money so I could lend you some. But there's one more thing. You're always hungry. And so that only leaves one option. Wah! I give up. Don't make me feel guilty. If you feel guilty, that means you deserve to feel guilty. Yuri suddenly giggles. Eh? I didn't notice that she was listening in. Her face is in the book as always. I wasn't listening or anything. I was just something in my book. Yuri! Tell Link to let me borrow some money. Don't get me involved like that, Sayuri. Besides, you should only buy what you can responsibly afford. And frankly, after pulling a mischievous little stunt like that, your suffering is fair enough retribution. Did I just... I didn't mean that. I got too absorbed in my book. Ooh? I really like it when you speak your mind, Yuri. It doesn't happen much, but it's a fun side of you. There's no way you could think that. You were right, though. I did something bad, and now I have to accept the retribution. That. Still, coming from you, Sayuri, I guess there's a little devil inside of all of us, isn't there? Hee. Don't let her fool you. Sayuri knows exactly what she's doing. After all, she told you guys she was bringing me to the club before she even told me. But, you wouldn't have come if it weren't for the cupcakes. So I had to trick... Alright, I think we're back. Yeah, we're back. Okay. Yeah! Out of nowhere, something smacks Sayuri in the face and tumbles onto the desk. Ow! What was... A cookie! Sure enough, it's a giant cookie wrapped in plastic. Sayuri glances around. Is this a miracle? It's because I played my restitution! Retribution. Actually, that one almost worked. I was just gonna give it to you, but then I heard you blab about the cupcakes. It was totally worth seeing your reaction, though. Natsuki! That's so nice of you! I'm so happy! Sayuri hugs the cookie. Jeez, just eat it. Sayuri rapidly tears open the wrapping paper and takes a big bite. Ow! So good! Oof. Sayuri suddenly clasps her hands over her mouth. I bet long home. You're going through a lot over just one cookie. Natsuki takes a bit of her own cookie. Ah, yours looks really good too, Natsuki. Can I try it? Jeez. Beggars can't be choosers. But yours is chocolate. Yeah? Why do you think I gave you that one? Fine. Still, I'm really happy you shared this one with me. Hee. Sayuri gets out of her seat and goes behind Natsuki, then wraps her arms around her. Ah, jeez. I get it. Cookie still in hand, Natsuki reaches up to nudge Sayuri off of her. Sayuri suddenly leans down and takes a bite out of Natsuki's cookie. Hey! Did you seriously just do that? Mouthful, Sayuri trots away to safety. Yuri and I laugh as well. Geez, you're such a kid sometimes. Monica, can you tell Sayuri? Eh? Natsuki glances around. Monica isn't in the club room. Ugh. Where's Monica anyway? Good question. Have any of you heard anything about her being late today? Not me. Yeah, I haven't either. That's a bit unusual. I hope she's okay. Of course she's okay. She probably just had something to do today. She's pretty popular after all. Eh? You don't think she has a... I wouldn't be surprised. She's probably more desirable than all of us combined. Ehehe, that's true. Excuse me? Suddenly the door swings open. Sorry, I'm super sorry. Ah, there you are. I didn't mean to be late. I hope you guys weren't worried or anything. Eh? Monica chose the club over her boyfriend after all. You're so strong-willed. But boyfriend? What on earth are you talking about? I needed a drink. Monica quizzically glances at me. Never mind that. What held you up anyway? Well, my last period today was study hall. To be honest, I kind of just lost track of time. Aha! That makes no sense though. You would have heard the bell ring at least. I must not have heard it since I was practicing piano. Piano? I wasn't aware you played music at all, Monica. I don't really. I kind of just started recently. I've always wanted to learn piano. That's so cool! You should play something for us, Monica. Monica looks at me. Maybe once I get a little better, I will. Yay! That sounds cool. I'd also look forward to it. Is that so? In that case, I won't let you down, Link. Monica smiles sweetly. I didn't mean any pressure or anything like that. Don't worry. I've been practicing a whole lot recently. And I really love the chance to share it once I'm ready. I see. In that case, best of luck. Thanks. So I didn't miss anything, did I? Not really. I chose to leave out Sayuri's mischievous escapade. I'm sure Natsuki will end up complaining about it to her anyway. It looks like everyone has already settled down. Sayuri somehow already finished her entire cookie. Yuri is back to her book, and Natsuki disappeared in the closet. Hey, Yuri? I suddenly noticed that Yuri is reading a different book from the one we've been reading together. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. No. I was just kind of waiting for you. If that's the case, why don't we go ahead and get started? Yes, let's. Actually, I have a request. Do you mind if I make some tea first? Not at all. Thanks very much. If there's one thing that can make my reading time here any better, it's a nice cup of tea. Not to mention for yourself. Not to mention for yourself as well. Yuri stands and makes her way to the closet. I follow and watch as she retrieves a small pitcher from the shelf, and the kind with a filter inside. Can you hold this for a second? Sure. Yuri hands me the water pitcher and also fetches an electric kettle. I'm going to plug this in at the teacher's desk, and then we'll go get some water. She walks past me and sets the kettle down on the teacher's desk. I simply watch her movements. To my surprise, the way she moved really contrasts her sparkling mannerisms, especially because of her long legs. Yuri appears elegant and methodical. Okay, may I have the water pitcher? Thanks. I'll be right back. I might as well walk with you. Yeah, why not? Shall we go then? Yeah. Where are you two off to? Yuri was gonna make some tea, so... I suddenly realize how weird it sounds to explain this to Monica. We're just filling the water pitcher. Oh, okay. Sorry, I was just a bit curious. That's kind of a one-person job, isn't it? Monica, please mind your own business for once. Or do you want to tell me there's something wrong with helping involve Link in club activities? My mouth gapes. I suppose there's nothing wrong with that. Then let's go, Link. Yuri quickly exits the room and I follow. Once in the hallway, she suddenly puts her forehead against the wall. I spoke without thinking. How could I say something like that? Yuri. Something about the way she said that. It made me feel so irritated. What's wrong with me? No, Yuri. I think you did the right thing. I wasn't expecting it, but it's also not right for Monica to judge people like that. Link, how come even when I do something bad, you're being nice to me? Because nothing that you do is bad as you make it seem in your head. Nobody's perfect. We have emotions, and we can't always hide them away. But you always amplify things in your head. Your mind turns a light rain shower into a hurricane. No. Wouldn't you hate me for something as terrible as that? Why would I hate you? I can't hate someone for having emotions. What kind of friend would do that? Friend, you say? Yuri lifts her head. Link, I really like being friends with you. Thanks, Yuri. I like being friends with you too. I feel kind of awkward saying something like that, but I'm doing my best to help Yuri feel better. Anyway, yeah. Shall we go? Yeah. Yuri and I walk to the next water fountain. Once we fill up the water pitcher, we return to the classroom. Link, do you like oolong tea? Yeah. Anything is fine. Very well. Yuri sets the temperature on the kettle to 200 degrees. Now it's time to get the teapot. You really do this properly, don't you? Of course. I shouldn't do any less when I'm making tea for others, even if I'm not an expert on tea or anything. Hoo-hoo. In that case, you'll only be even more impressed. Perhaps I will. Yuri fetches a teapot and begins measuring the tea leaves. To my surprise, she even starts humming a little to herself. You must be in a good mood now. Is that so? I was just letting it show. And you noticed. I was doing a bit of thinking, and I decided that I would try expressing myself a little bit more. It turns out it's not very hard for me to do. When it's you who's around anyway. That's great, Yuri. Just don't push yourself too much. You're always worrying about me, Link. It's very endearing. Yuri wasn't kidding. I don't even know if I can keep up with this. I watch Yuri pour a cup of tea for us. Link, I have another request. Do you mind if we sit on the floor today? Why is that? It's a little bit easier on my back. I can read with my back against the wall rather than bending over at my desk. Sorry, I didn't realize. No worries. I just have back pain fairly regularly, so I do my best to manage it. Is that so? I wonder why that is. It's most likely because your posture, right? Always hunched over like that while reading? Yes! I have terrible reading posture. So that's why we should sit on the floor. Fair enough. I'll go ahead and get the book. I retrieve the book from my bag. I have some chocolate as well. It's a bag of small chocolate candies that I kept hidden from Sayuri's candy radar. I take it, since it'll go well with the tea. Yuri and I sit against the wall, teacups at our sides. As if in sync, we assume the same reading position as last time, each holding one half of the book. Except this time, our bodies are even closer to each other. I can't see too well. Yuri slides closer until our shoulders are touching. How am I supposed to focus on reading like this? Yuri was always kind of cute, but When she's being less apprehensive, it's almost more than I can handle. Your teacup. Yuri hands me my teacup. Holding it with my hand, that's not holding the book. I end up in a position that makes it even harder to focus. Because now I need to worry about making sure I don't accidentally touch her chest. Meanwhile, Yuri hasn't noticed a single thing. She wears her intense reading expression, and I can only presume the world around her has faded away. I use all of my willpower to focus on reading. After a few minutes, I finally manage to relax a little bit. I put the teacup between my legs and fumble with the chocolate wrapper. Sorry. I briefly let go of the book and finish opening the wrapper. You can have as much as you want. Oh, that's okay. I won't take any. Are you sure? Well, if I touch it, then I might get smudges on the pages. You're right. I didn't even think about that. My bad. No need to apologize. I'll hold the book, okay? Are you sure? Of course. Yuri opens the book with both hands. She holds it so that I don't have any harder of a time reading from it. But as a result, her left arm is practically resting on top of my leg. Well, in that case, Yuri is already totally focused on reading again. I take a chocolate candy and pop it into my mouth. Then I take another chocolate and I hold it up to Yuri. She doesn't even look away from the book. She simply parts her lips as if the situation was completely natural. But that means I can't stop here. I apprehensively place the chocolate in her mouth. Just like that, Yuri closes her mouth over it. Yuri's expression suddenly breaks. Did I just... Yuri looks at me like she needs to confirm what just happened. Link? Sorry. I guess I shouldn't have done that. Well, you were just helping. That's something that friends do, right? I mean, not really in this kind of context, but yeah. That's all it was. Yeah. Then you don't need to stop or anything. I see. The situation has gotten really tense. Yuri tries to return to the book, but I can tell just by her expression that even she can't focus now. Heart is pounding. I nervously take another chocolate between my fingers, but this time Yuri's eyes meet mine. This is so awkward! It's so awkward. How did it even come to this? Yuri doesn't avert her gaze. I notice her chest rising and falling to the rhythm of her breaths. I raise my arm. Like before, Yuri parts her lips, but it's different this time. I take a chocolate and place it in her mouth. I feel her breath on my fingers. Okay, everyone! What? Yuri jolts back. It's time to share poems. Link, you can help Yuri put away the tea stuff, right? Yeah, of course. Okay, thanks. The spell is abruptly broken. I'll take care of the cups. Yeah. Yuri picks up the teacups from the floor. I pick up the bag of chocolates. In the end, we hastily clean up without so much as a word between us. I get the feeling this is something neither of us will have the courage to bring up ever again. So who should I share my poem with first? I'll share it with Monica. Hi again! How's the writing going? Alright, I guess. I'll take that. As long as it's not going bad. I'm happy that you're applying yourself. Maybe soon you'll come up with a masterpiece. I wouldn't count on that. You never know. Want to share what you wrote for today? Sure, here you go. I give my poem to Monica. Alright. This one's good. It feels like you're not only getting more comfortable with your style, but the imagery is better than the last one I read. Just wondering, but have you been finding inspiration in Yuri's writing style? I guess so. You can't deny that she's talented. Yeah, totally. I think her poems are the most romantic. That's the best way to describe it. She's like a totally different person when she picks up a pen. I noticed that too. Or when she's talking about literature. It's like a light turns on inside her. Sadly, it's hard to get much personal conversation out of her. Trust me, I've tried. Who knows what goes on in that head of hers? I hope you don't mean that in a bad way. No, of course not. I just meant that I wish she didn't keep so much to herself. But still, defending her like that. You must be pretty into her. Huh? You completely misunderstood. Calm down, I'm kidding. Besides, I'm pretty sure she's already got a boyfriend. Wait, really? Yeah, a fictional one anyway. Monica kind of whispers that last part to me. It's just a hunch, but... Well, there's not really anything wrong with that. Oh, well, I know. I was just saying. But anyway, you want to read my poem now? I like the way this one turned out. I hope you do too. Alright, let's take a look. Okay, so last time we didn't read her poem. I don't think... Somebody's poem we didn't get to read. I think it was hers because I clicked it off by mistake. So, I'm going to be careful this time. Save me. The colors, they won't stop. Bright, beautiful colors. Flashing, expanding, piercing. Red, green, blue. An endless cacophony of meaningless noise. The noise, it won't stop. Violent, grating waveforms. Squeaking, screeching, piercing. Sine, cosine, tangent. Like playing a chalkboard on a turntable. Like playing a vinyl on a pizza crust. An endless poem of meaningless. Load me. What? What did I just read? These are so weird and cryptic. I feel like they're kind of hinting at the girls' situations. I don't know why, but I feel like maybe... People say this game gets really dark, especially with the warning at the beginning. I feel like maybe these girls are experiencing some kind of domestic abuse or depression or something, if not all of the above. Just in the kind of stuff they write, I feel like something really messed up is going on with these girls. Especially with Monica, because she doesn't want to tell us anything about herself. Because remember when we asked her about herself earlier, she kind of like shut us down and didn't want to talk about it as if it was super personal. And they all like almost mentioned stuff and then covered up. I don't know. I feel like there's some messed up stuff going on. Anyway, I'll have to keep playing to find out. It's even more abstract than your last one, huh? Ahahaha. I guess it's just the way I write. I'm sorry if you don't like it. No, I never said that. It's just a kind of thing I would never really seen before, I guess. I kind of like playing with my space on the paper. Choosing where and how to space your words can totally change the mood of a poem. It's almost like magic. The way I wrote the lines really short makes it feel like they're trying to speak over the noise. I see. It's still hard for me to tell what it's about, though. Sometimes asking what a poem about isn't the right question. A poem can be as abstract as a physical expression of a feeling, or a conversation with the reader. So putting it that way, not every poem is about something. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes you'll find yourself facing a difficult decision. When that happens, don't forget to save your game. You never know when you might change your mind, or when something unexpected may happen. Wait, is this tip even about writing? What am I even talking about? That's my advice for today. Okay, I feel like that's a cue to save our game. Things are about to get weird. I feel it. Thanks for listening. Okay. We'll show Sayuri. Ooh, I like this one, Link. It has some nice feelings in it. Oh, I'm glad. Does that mean it's better than yesterday's? Let me think. I don't know. I guess I like them both. That's not very helpful, you know. Well, I'm not very good at figuring out if poems are good or bad. But that's why I just go by my heart. If it makes me feel things, then it must be a good poem. I'm not sure that's exactly how it works. Then again, I guess conveying feelings is a pretty important part of this whole thing. Yeah, maybe. Honestly, I don't even know what kind of writing you like in the first place. Yeah, me neither. Ugh. Why don't you at least try giving it some thought? Aw. You want to write something for me? That's so sweet. Yeah, right. But you're always thinking about other people. You need to think about yourself once in a while. If you don't, you might end up getting hurt at some point. Huh? Well, I don't really know what you mean, but I'll try to keep it in mind. Well, whatever. Anyway, let's see. I guess I like happy poems. Wait, sometimes I like sad poems too. Sometimes a little bit of both. There's a word for that, right? What's the word I'm looking for? Bittersweet! Yeah! I like things that are happy and things that are sad. Happy and sad? I can't see you liking something sad, Sayuri. Well, I like happy the most. But sometimes when you have a little rain cloud in your head, a sad poem can help you give the rain cloud a little hug. And make a nice happy rainbow. Sayuri, that's unexpectedly poetic. Eh? Is it? Maybe I'm getting better at expressing my feelings after all. Thanks, Link. I should go write that down then. You can read my poem now, okay? Alright. Oh, it was hers we didn't read last time. Last time we didn't read Sayuri's. Bottles. I pop off my scalp like the lid of a cookie jar. It's the secret place where I keep all my dreams. Little balls of sunshine all rubbing together like a bundle of kittens. I reach inside with my thumb and forefinger and pluck one out. It's warm and tingly. But there's no time to waste. I put it in a bottle to keep it safe. And I put the bottle on a shelf with all the other bottles. Happy thoughts, happy thoughts, happy thoughts. In bottles, all in a row. My collection makes me lots of friends. Each bottle a starlight to make amends. Sometimes my friend feels a certain way. Down comes a bottle to save the day. Night after night, more dreams. Friend after friend, more bottles. Deeper and deeper my fingers go, like exploring a dark cave, discovering the secrets hiding in the nooks and crannies. Digging and digging, scraping and scraping. Hold on, I'm sorry, my dog is complaining. I blow dust off my bottle caps. It doesn't feel like time elapsed. My empty shelf could use some more. My friends look through my locked front door. Finally, all alone, I open up, and in come my friends. In they come in such a hurry. Do they want my bottles that much? I frantically pull them from the shelf, one after the other, holding them out to each and every friend, each and every bottle. But every time I let one go, it shatters against the tile between my feet. Happy thoughts, happy thoughts, happy thoughts in shards all over the floor. They were supposed to be for my friends who aren't smiling. They're all shouting, pleading something. But all I hear is echo, 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 echo inside my head. I think it's safe to say that Sayuri is probably the depressed one. I feel like this one maybe deals with mental health, because that sounds like a poem a depressed person would write. To me, anyway. Holy crap. Sayuri, did you really write this? Of course I did. Didn't I tell you yesterday I was going to write the best poem ever? Yeah, but I mean, I didn't expect something like this coming from you. Monica taught me a whole lot, and I've been really in touch with my feelings recently. I see that. It's almost kind of creepy. Creepy? Well, not exactly. Maybe because I'm so used to you being cheerful. Well, never mind. I'm thinking too hard about it. The point is, it came out good, so you should be proud of it. Aw, thanks. I feel like I was meant to express myself this way. It even helps me understand my own feelings a little bit better. Writing is like magic. You've gotten pretty passionate about this, huh? I hope you keep it up. Yeah! Writing's the best. I'm gonna keep writing until I die. Don't get ahead of yourself. Sayuri's always had a habit of getting obsessed with something before dropping it in no more than a week later. I wonder if this is one of those times. But seeing the passion in her eyes makes it hard for me to be pessimistic. We'll go with Natsuki. Well, I can admit it's better than the last one. It's nice to see that you're putting in some effort. That's good. But I still don't like this at all. It's trying too hard to be serious. Eh? What do you mean by that? Poems don't need to be all deep-sounding to express something. It's going to just sound like you're forcing it unless you really don't suck at it. Honestly, don't bother trying to write poems like this unless you're on Yuri's level. Natsuki stops short all of a sudden. Don't tell me. Eh? You're not just trying to impress Yuri, are you? What are you talking about? And keep your voice down. You know Yuri would love this angsty. Just because she's a talented writer doesn't mean I mean, ooh. Looks like I'm in trouble. I somehow struck a nerve. Though what I did is beyond me. I am so done with you! Natsuki shoves the poem in my hand and her back over to me. Take your stupid poem. If you wrote it for someone else, just don't show it to me. Ouch. This is what I get for letting a younger girl step into my business. Unless I was a mind reader, I was destined to be in a world of pain from the start. At least Natsuki wasn't really the girl I was trying to impress in the first place. And now we have Yuri. Let's see what you've written for today. Yuri stares at the poem with a surprised expression on her face. Do you like it? Link! This one might even be better than yesterday's. How'd you even pick? Alright. Maybe that's why. You did a good job explaining. I really wanted to try giving it more imagery. Yuri visibly swallows. Even her hands appear sweaty. I'm not used to this. Used to what? I don't know. It's fine. Take your time. Yuri breathes and collects her thoughts. Whew. I know that Yuri likes to think before she speaks, so I offer that patience to her. Yeah, just being appreciated like this, I guess. It probably sounds really stupid, but seeing someone motivated by my writing, it just makes me really happy. Are you saying you've never shared your writing before? Yuri nods. Really? I don't believe it. I really only write for myself. And besides, people would just laugh at me. Do you really think that? Again, Yuri nods. Huh. Even your close friends? Yuri doesn't respond to that. I wonder why. Anyway, do you want to share the poem you wrote today? Yeah, I do. If it's with you. The Raccoon. It happened in the dead of night while I was slicing bread for a guilty snack. My attention was caught by the scuttering of a raccoon outside my window. That was, I believe, the first time I noticed my strange tendencies as an ordinary human. I gave the raccoon a piece of bread, my subconscious well aware of the consequences, well aware that a raccoon that is fed will always come back for more. The enticing beauty of my cutting knife was the symptom. The bread, my hungry curiosity. The raccoon, an urge. The moon increments its phase and reflects that much more light off my cutting knife. The very same light that glistens in the eyes of my raccoon friend. I slice the bread, fresh and soft. The raccoon becomes excited. Or perhaps I'm merely projecting my emotions on the newly satisfied animal. The raccoon has taken to following me. You could say that we've gotten quite used to each other. The raccoon becomes hungry more and more frequently, so my bread is always handy. Every time I brandish my cutting knife, the raccoon shows me its excitement. A rush of blood. Classic provocation. Classic Pavlovian conditioning. I slice the bread and I feed myself again. I was a little more daring with this one than yesterday's. I can see that. It's a lot more metaphorical. I don't know if it's my fault, but I can't begin to imagine what this poem is about. That's right. It's a bit closer to my preferred writing style, using the poem as a canvas to express vivid imagery and conveying emotions through them. Yeah, if I take face value, then I can't even figure out what it's supposed to mean. Well, I think it's something that different people can relate to in their own way. I wanted to express the way it feels for me to indulge in my more unusual hobbies. It's those sort of things I'm usually forced to keep to myself, so I sometimes enjoy writing about them. Why do you keep them to yourself? Because they're embarrassing, and people would make fun of me. Don't you have anything like that, Link? Well, yeah, I guess I do. I feel like everyone has a little something like that. The best we can do is respect each other in our individualities, even if that's difficult sometimes, and some things make us uncomfortable. After all, if I hadn't learned to embrace my own weirdness, I would probably hate myself. I might be ranting a little bit now, but I'm glad that you're a good listener. You're good at a lot of things. Writing, listening. There really aren't many people like you, Link. That's exaggerating a little bit. It's just how I feel. I never thought I would feel so comfortable sharing my writing, but now I almost feel like I look forward to it. It's just a really nice feeling. And you're to thank for that. It's nothing, really. Yuri smiles sincerely. For just a moment, her timidness seems to disappear. Okay, everyone. We're all done reading each other's poems, right? I have something extra planned today, so if everyone could come sit at the front of the room. Is this about the festival? Well, sort of. Ugh, do we really have to do something for the festival? It's not like we can put together anything good in just a few days. We'll just end up embarrassing ourselves instead of getting any new members. That's a concern of mine as well. I don't really do well with last minute preparations. Don't worry so much. We're gonna keep it simple, okay? We won't need much more than a few decorations. Sayuri has been working on posters and I've designed some pamphlets. And I've designed some pamphlets we can give out during the event. Okay, that's great and all, but that doesn't tell us what we're actually going to be doing for the event. Ah, sorry, I thought you heard about it already. We're going to be performing. Performing? Monica? Yeah, we're going to have a poetry performance. Each of us are going to choose a poem to recite during the event. But the cool part is, we're also going to let anyone else come up and recite poems too. Sayuri's putting it all on posters in case anyone wants to prepare ahead of time. Eehee! Sayuri, who's been coloring a poster, holds it up for us to see. Are you kidding me, Monica? You didn't already start putting those posters up, did you? Well, I did. Do you really think it's that bad of an idea? Well, no. It's not a bad idea. But I didn't sign up for this, you know. There's no way I'm going to be performing in front of a group of people like that. I agree with Natsuki. I could never, in my life, do something like that. Imagine it. Yuri shakes her head in fear. Guys. No, Sayuri. I understand where they're coming from. Remember that Natsuki and Yuri have never shared their poems with anyone until just a couple of days ago. It's a lot to ask them to recite their poems out loud to a whole room full of people. I guess I kind of overlooked that. So, I'm sorry. But, I still think we should give it our best. We're the only ones responsible for the fate of this club. If we start the event and each put on a good performance, then it will inspire others to do the same. And the more people who perform, the better we'll be able to show everyone what literature is all about. Yeah! It's about expressing your feelings, being intimate with yourself, finding new horizons, and having fun. That's right! And it's those reasons that we're all in this club today. Don't you want to share that with others? To inspire them to find the same feelings that brought you here in the first place. I know you do. I know we all do. And if all it takes is standing in front of the room for 2 minutes and reciting a poem, then I know you can do it. Natsuki and Yuri remain silent. Sayuri looks worried. I guess that leaves me no choice. I agree. I don't think it's too much to ask. I think that Sayuri and Monica have been trying really hard to get new members. The least we can do is help them out a little bit. Well, maybe, but it looks like Natsuki doesn't have any arguments left. Okay, fine. I guess I'll just have to get it over with. Alright. Phew! Thanks, Natsuki. What about you, Yuri? Yuri dejectedly glances around at everyone else's expectant faces. I guess I really don't have a choice. Ahaha! That's everyone! You're the best, Yuri. This club is seriously going to be the death of me. Oh gosh. You'll be fine, Yuri. But anyway, let's move on to the main event. I want each of you to choose a poem of yours. We're going to practice reciting them in front of each other. No way! Monica! This is too sudden. Well, if you can't recite your poem in front of the club, how do you expect to do it in front of strangers? Oh no. Don't worry. I'll start off and help everyone feel a little more comfortable. Can I go next? Of course! Now, let's see. Monica flips through her notebook to the specific poem she has in mind for herself. She then stands behind the podium. The title of this poem is The Way We Fly. Ahem. Monica begins reciting her poem. Her clear, confident voice fills the room. More than that, her inflection is pristine. She knows exactly how to apply emotion behind each line she recites, bringing the words to life. Is this something she's done before, or is this simply a natural? I glance around me. Everyone has their eyes on Monika. Sayuri looks amazed. Yuri has an intense expression on her face that I don't understand. Finally, Monika finishes the recitation. The four of us applaud. Monika takes a breath and smiles. That was so good, Monika! Aw, thank you very much. I was just hoping to set a good example. Are you ready to go next, Sayuri? I'll go next. What? Yuri's fired up all of a sudden. Yuri clutches a sheet of paper between her hands and stands up. Keeping her head down, she walks quickly over to the podium. This poem is called... Yuri anxiously glances at each one of us. You can do it, Yuri. It's called After Image of a Crimson Eye. Yuri's voice shakes as she starts reciting the poem. Just a moment ago, she practically refused to do this. Why is she suddenly putting in so much effort? As Yuri gets past the first couple of lines, her voice changes. It's almost like what happens when Yuri gets absorbed into her books. Her quivering words transform into sharp syllables of a fierce and confident woman. The poem is full of twists and turns in its structure that she enunciates with perfect timing. This must be a rare glimpse into the whirling fire Yuri keeps concealed inside her head. Suddenly, she's finished. Everyone is stunned. Yuri snaps back into reality and glances around her as if she's bewildered, even herself. It's up to me to save this situation. I'm the first to start applauding. Everyone joins me afterwards and we give Yuri the recognition she deserves. It's not that we didn't want to applaud for her, but we were caught off guard so that we must have forgotten. As we applaud, Yuri holds the poem to her chest and rushes back into her seat. Yuri, that was really good. Thank you for sharing. Looks like Yuri is down for the count. Okay, I guess I'm next then. Sayuri hops out of her chair and cheerfully walks to the podium. This one's called My Meadow. Sorry, I giggled. Sayuri, it's a lot harder than I thought. How'd you guys do it so easily? Try not to think of it like you're reciting to other people. Imagine you're reciting it to yourself, like in front of a mirror or in your own head. It's your poem, so it'll come out the best that way. I see. Okay then. Sayuri begins her poem. Somehow it feels like her soft voice was made as a perfect match. The poem isn't aimlessly cheery like Sayuri is. It's serene and bittersweet. If I were to read this on paper, I probably wouldn't think much of it, but hearing it come from Sayuri's voice almost gives it a whole new meaning. Maybe this is what Sayuri meant when she said she likes my poems. It's like I get to reach more deeply into someone I thought I knew through and through. Sayuri finishes and we applaud. I did it! Good job, Sayuri. I even liked it. I guess that's a good sign. What does that even mean? It came out nicely, Sayuri. The atmosphere of the poem fits you really nicely, but it might be that other poems wouldn't work quite as well with that kind of delivery. I really don't understand. In other words, I've seen poems of yours where that sort of gentle delivery wouldn't work as well. They might need a little more force behind them depending on what you're reading. Oh, I know what you mean. I've been practicing that kind of thing. It's just embarrassing to do in front of everyone. The next time, I'm going to make you pick a poem that challenges you a little more. Okay, folks. My voice is getting tired. I've been reading a lot. I'm having technical difficulties out the wazoo. So I think I'm going to call it a night. I meant to stream longer tonight, but it's not going to happen. I'll work up to it. Anyway, everybody have a good night. Thanks for coming by. Thanks for sticking with me with my technical difficulties. Hopefully after this weekend I should have a face cam, so you will get to see what I look like. I'm looking at some cams on Amazon. Hopefully I can find one that's a good price and that has a nice resolution so you're not looking at potato quality video. Anyway, thanks so much for coming in and hanging out with me, and we'll play more of this game next time. Bye everybody!